students, I am Ishan Trivedi, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department. Welcome you in the video lecture series. Today we are going to discuss about zoning and its introduction. Topics to be covered in these sessions are zoning and its definition, importance of zoning, objects of zoning, and at last the principles of zoning. Let us understand zoning with its definition. It is defined as the creation by law of sections or zones such as residential zone, industrial, commercial, civic, institutional, and recreational, in which the regulation prevents misuse of lands and buildings and limit their heights and densities of population differing in different zones. Here, three terms are used. These three focus terms are of use of land, such as residential, commercial, industrial, where through building bylaws and preventing misuse of lands by adopting certain regulations. These are of limiting the building heights and the regulation of density of the population. So second term is of limiting the building height and the third term is of density of population of a town. So these three phenomena. Remember these three phenomena, that is of use, height and density. Regarding these three phenomena we are discussing later on. Next is the importance of zoning. Zoning sets apart different areas in the town for a specific purpose. It prevents encroachment of one zone upon another zone adjacent to it. For example, industrial area is located away from the residential area, so it is not affected by the dangerous gases, smoke, pollution, etc. The business or commercial areas are also separately located with the garages and services stations at the distance from the residential area, so that you can avoid the encroachment of one zone to another zone. People have tendency to build their houses near to the industries. If they found open space near to the industrial zone, they acquire those lands. Due to encroachment, you do not have any idea that there is a spot of residential unit in terms of slum is settled in a town. And that's why there will be encroachment of one zone in another zone. And it has to be eliminated. Next is the population distributed throughout the town by zoning regulation, so that there is no concentration of population in any particular zone. You have to design or plan a city in a such a way that there is no unnecessarily concentration of population in a one particular zone or in a one particular area, and the facilities and the amenities has to be equally distributed among the city. The height zoning regulates the height of the building, and hence the high-rise building will not be allowed to construct near the small houses. Otherwise, they cut off sunshine, air and the breeze. A land in the form of recreational area is also set aside for park, playground, stadium and theatres. As I said earlier, certain percentage land has to be kept for such activities. Next is the zoning helps proper coordination of various public amenities like water supply, drainage, electricity, transport, etc. As I said earlier, that before laying any road network, we have to provide drainage and water facility in the town, and after that these underground work is been completed, then and then you can start constructing the roads. So there has to be proper coordination, and this can be achieved by the zoning facility. Next is zoning secures the orderly growth of a town and promotes health, safety, and order in the town. It increases the utility, beauty, efficiency of the town. You can eliminate the chances of fire and consequences which happen during these fire hazards and subsequent damages. So these are the importance of zoning. Now understand the objects of zoning. As I said earlier, it serves as a main tool for the town planner to maintain the future growth of a town as it was envisaged ordinary. Zoning offers proper coordination of various public amenities. Zoning makes TP scheme, means town planning scheme, effective and successful. You have to remember, through zoning, this is the only tool where you can make town planning scheme successful. Otherwise, failure and the distribution of various elements in the town makes it difficult in future. So better, or it is advisable, while doing such planning, you have to make coordination between those amenities, various elements of a city, and ultimately to make town planning schemes successful, zoning plays a key role. Now understand the principles of zoning. These principles are of arrangement of zone, boundaries of each zone, flexibility, new town and existing town. These are the principles of zoning. Let us start with the arrangement of zones. The zones may follow the pattern of concentric bands, means those radial suite system, or you can say concentric combined with radial suite system, such as CBD area, subcentral area, intermediate area and undeveloped area, where the development is more focused on central area than subcentral area, where industrial and household activities are gone parallel, then intermediate area and undeveloped area, which is outermost peripheral area of a town. And that's how the city has to be designed. The other pattern may be provision of blocks for different uses in the different part of the town. These blocks are of industrial blocks, or you can say spatial economic zone. In some of the cases, these are of hubs for the particular class of activities. Next is boundaries of each zone. The design of boundaries for different zones should be carefully done. These boundaries are done by considering road network, railway line, park, open space, drainage line. These are those key parameters having which help in determining the boundary of zone. You can take a reference of railway line or a major road which are passing through the area and divide the area in two different zones. For example, in Ahmedabad, you can see the Sabarmati river is passing from the middle of the town, and you can find the East Ahmedabad and West Ahmedabad. At the same time, the same example is Mumbai. Mumbai is divided by Western Express Highway as well as the railway network, both the side of Eastern Mumbai and the Western Mumbai. These are just example. Even in Ahmedabad, there are other categories as well. The zoning has been done like in terms of direction, such as north zone, south zone, east zone, west zone, new west zone, new south west zone and central zone. So these are the classifications of zoning in terms of direction. So which is the convenient way to determine the boundary in terms of data analysis, in terms of providing facilities. So these are the matter of discussion. Third is flexibility. The principle of zoning should not be rigidly enforced, but there has to be some flexibility which serves in the planning of zoning. For example, the place of work should be nearer to the residential area, but it should not be too nearer or too closer with residential area. Otherwise, there will be noise pollution, air pollution, and many other health related disease can be happen in future. In the same way, the small shopping center may be allowed in the residential area for day-to-day requirements. In your surroundings, you will find certain complexes. Like on main road, you will find that first two stories are of commercial and the above two or more stories are for residential. That is called mixed land use. So where you have the benefit of shopping center as well as residential unit. And this is how you can utilize the space. Next is new town. For zoning, a new town of known population, the areas required for resident, industries, open space and business should be worked out, and the town is then divided into different zones. While determining new town, first you have to determine the population, then after having the calculation we will forecast those population. Based on these requirements, we will determine various zones such as residential and industrial units, open space, business hub, and the land will be allotted based on the future growth and the trend. Next is existing town. In case of existing town, it is divided into zone by considering the predominant use of that particular area, or what are the activities happening in that particular area. And after that, in existing town, at certain places, if you have the availability of land, you can alter that land. For example, in Ahmedabad, Pole City is very well known for its merchandise, but in earlier it is one of the place for residential area of the town where people were living. But after the city expansion, people were moved towards its peripheral area like Satellite, Thaltej, Vasana, Paldi, Navrangpura, Naranpura, and later on this entire walled city area is converted into commercial hub. So first there was a residential area, and as the city has expanded, the area is altered. So if you have the land or ground or open space, this area can be altered and proper justification has to be done or has to be made while alteration of land use. So this is what the basic introduction of zoning and its principles. I'm ending this session. I hope you have learned these basic concepts of zoning. Thanks for watching this video.